Hello friends, I'm Paul. Welcome to my hobby channel. I've got a few bolt action games planned coming up. I've got a 1250 early war game coming up soon, and that's what these models are for. The T26As with twin machine guns. So I've got a early war game coming up, and after that we're gonna have a tank battle game where there's gonna be 6 to 8 of us, um, with tanks only, and so I'm not sure if I've got to paint some extra models for that, and yeah, then after that I've got another early war game. Okay, so today I'm gonna paint up these four T26s and also this ZiS-30. It does have a bit of these are all 3D prints, and it does have a bit of a failed shield here, but hopefully I can paint that up like some form of damage. This is one of the coolest little tank destroyers, I think, in World War II. So it's mounted on a Cosmolet, and it's a medium tank gun. I believe they're a 57mm anti-tank gun, but yeah, just a cool little model. And I put it on this base because the tracks on this particular model is very thin, and they are prone to break. So yeah, the base will just give it a bit of extra strength. Okay, well, like most of the other Soviet tanks, they're a pretty basic paint job, or paint scheme. So basically, I'm going to paint them in a dark green, just whatever I've got lying around, and then I'll weather them up. So it shouldn't take me too long to paint these 5 models. So the models are undercoated just in a black spray can primer. So I'm just coming in with a dark green now, and this is going to be the base color for all the tanks. So I believe the Soviets did use a lot of different types of green. I guess it's whatever they had at hand at the time during different stages of the war. Okay, well, I'm going to continue on painting this green base color down. By the look of how it's going over the black, I'm definitely going to need 2 coats. After the base coat has been applied, I like to do a bit of edge lining with a black or a dark brown, just in between the joins around bolts, along the edges of panels and stuff like that. So I've got some watered down black wash here. I'm just gonna put in all the edges, and it'll just help bring them out. If it doesn't flow too good, then you can just add a little bit of water to make it flow easier. So I'll just go along and that'll help the panels and any joins stand out. So it doesn't really matter if we go a little bit too wide, because we will come back in and lighten up these flat panels anyway, and edge highlight. Okay, so I'm going to go along and just do just do all these joins, do some black lining, as I think it's called, and yeah, then we'll come back. Going to use a lighter green to edge highlight all the edges. just so they stand out a bit. Like you can see that that's a totally different shade of green. You'd think it wouldn't work, but it does actually stand out pretty good. And it won't be noticeable. It should blend in pretty good. So I'm just using the edge of the brush just to go along all the major edges. And some of these flat panels as well, I'm going to use the same green just to give it a bit of a, let's move that light, just to give it a bit of a flick along the panels, like a bit of a dry brush, just to lighten up some of the flat panels and along the barrel. I've edge highlighted and did a little bit of dry brushing on some of the flat surfaces. I'm just going to go in now and just put a little bit of grey highlights on the black exhaust, and then I'll also put a little bit of rust stains on the exhaust as well. Okay, I've just done a little bit of highlighting across the top of the exhaust in a dark grey. So what I'm going to do now is along the edges of the brackets and a little bit underneath, I'm going to paint some dark brown. I've decided to put a little bit of rust on some of the tanks as well. So I've just got the same dark brown and I'm just putting a little bit of a patch along the edge and just running it down the front. And then I'll get a little bit of orange when I putting the rust on the exhaust, and I'll put a little bit of orange in here just to show like rust streaking down. So I'll put a little bit more just here on the top. And I might put a little bit of black along there as well. Yeah, so you can see here that I've streaked brown down in the joints, and I've just speckled a little bit of orange just to indicate heavier rust, and I've done the same with the exhaust. Yeah, so it's just a matter of the heaviest rusted areas, just to put a few little dots of orange there. So just do it along the edge here. Probably not there. Along here. To simulate a little more battle damage, I want to just come in with a bit of black and just put some black along the edges, and that'll help to simulate some battle damage, like the paint's been knocked off. So not everywhere on the model, just in different, just along different edges, just put a bit of black. And I might come in and just put a little bit of brown on the edges, and that'll look like the paint's been chipped off and the metal underneath is rusting. Hopefully you can see the black and the dark brown around the edges, and right beside it is a bit of rust. So yeah, so hopefully the model's looking a bit weathered. So I've made two of them a bit rusty, and two of them not so much, just a little bit chipped. Before I do the dust and dirt on the vehicles, I'm just going to dry brush a bit of dark brown on the base of the ZiS-30. With a light brown, we're just going to dry brush all the track area just to simulate dry dust from heavy campaigning. So we're just going to push the dry brush with a little bit of paint on it into all the crevices, across all the wheels, the tracks, all over. So we'll just splash a little bit up onto the tracks and down the bottom. So you can make this as dusty as you like, or only have a small amount of dust in there. So also going to put it on the tracks and along the hull. What do you reckon of that dry brush? She is a classic. And then along the front. If you go on a little bit heavy, you can always wipe it with your finger. Wipe some of that off. And so, I mean, I'll go over this a lot more, then I'll show you at the end. But also along the upper hull, you can just flick your dry brush over the upper hull just to give it a little bit of a dirty appearance over anything that sticks out. And like I said before, you can always go in with your finger and just smooth that color out so it's not so dominant. So anywhere you think that dust would appear, so all along the front, so we'll do the front tracks. Some of these edges. I'm guessing the side of the turrets would probably also have dust showing along the edges. A little bit along the back. Okay, I'll finish this one off and then do the rest. This is an optional step. Once you've put in all the light brown, I get a lighter brown or sometimes even a flesh color paint, and I will just edge highlight a couple of the components that has the dust on it. Try and get a little bit more paint on my brush. You just see that there, just the odd speck, just to highlight that dust. So where you think the light might catch the dust, so all those little sticky out bits, as Vince says. So the tracks, you can just randomly put a few little lighter dots. The track colors are looking a little bit flat for me. They're dirt. So I'm just going to get a little bit of brown wash and just put it into the wheels just to darken them up a little bit, and then a little bit along the bottom of the hull. Just to give it a little bit of contrast with the lighter shade, and sorry, the lighter paint and the darker shades. And I'm also going to put a little bit down in the front of the tanks, just so we've got a transition from a darker wash, not sure if you can see that on the camera, up into a lighter color. Yeah, I think that gives it a little bit more of something. This unit of light tanks is finished. I glued some grass tufts onto the ZiS-30, and I think it looks pretty good. And that'd be a cool little model. I should have pointed out through the video as well that I 3D printed these models, and some of them are damaged. So there was a couple of broken machine guns, and one of them here has a broken section of its tracks just down in here. And I think, yeah, this one had a broken track, which I've just glued some mud across so that it looks like it's complete. Anyway, so yeah, the breakages is on me not being very good at printing. But anyway, this little unit is finished, and I hope to use them in a game next week. And also, I've decided that I started this month with 12 unpainted Soviet tanks. So I'm thinking that this is going to be Soviet tank month for me. I want to finish off the 12 models. So I've painted 5 now, so I've got 7 left. So yeah, and right at the end, I've got a big boy Soviet tank, and probably paint an 85mm anti-aircraft gun as well. Okay, that's all for me. Enjoy the photos of the completed models, and I hope to see you in my next video. See you later, and happy gaming.